The second installment of the college football playoffs rankings come out tonight, 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Central. Are we going to see many changes? What do you think? Put down your comments and thoughts in the comments section below the video. Let's see what ESPN believes. Heather Dinich, ESPN. Let's get to it right now. Let's not waste any more time. Questions facing the college football playoff committee before the second rankings are revealed. The second ranking could be very easy for the college football playoff selection committee after the top 8 teams all won in week 10. It's not always that simple though. When the committee begins each week with a blank sheet of paper and what happened last year does not matter. That's why the back-to-back defending national champions weren't the committee's #1 team in its initial ranking. Was #2 Georgia's win against #12 Mizzou enough to change that in the committee's second of 6 rankings? Unveiled tonight at 7 o'clock Eastern, Tuesday night on ESPN? Maybe. Though Ohio State is still ranked #1 in the ESPN strength of record metric, which means the average top 25 team would have the most difficult time achieving the same undefeated record against the Buckeyes' opponents to this point. While there wasn't a lot of drama on the scoreboard, there are still several pressing questions facing the committee this week that at least have the potential to alter its second ranking. #1, has Georgia done enough to unseat the Buckeyes? One of the most significant week 10 results was Georgia's win against Missouri, which gave the Bulldogs their first victory against a college football playoff ranked opponent. While Georgia added to its playoff resume, Ohio did not. Ohio State did not, beating an unranked but improved Rutgers team on the road. The committee doesn't rank teams based on a weekly snapshot though. It will continue to compare Ohio State and Georgia based on their resumes to date, and assuming Penn State and Notre Dame are still top 25 wins, the Buckeyes will still edge Georgia with their schedule strength. It didn't help Ohio State that Notre Dame dropped to 3 losses after losing at Clemson, which is a 4-loss team. It also didn't help Georgia that Florida lost at home to Arkansas, and the Gators are now a 4-loss team. One of the reasons Georgia was #2 ahead of Michigan last week was because of the committee valued its wins against Kentucky and Florida more than any opponents the Wolverines had defeated. Another consideration is how valuable the win against Mizzou was, and that will be determined in part by how far the Tigers fall tonight. How far does the Mizzou Tigers fall? If Georgia earns a promotion to the top spot Tuesday, it would most likely be justified by the committee deeming the Bulldogs a better team while citing Ohio State's first half struggles at Rutgers. And they'd have to explain, though, how that was different than Georgia's first half struggles against Mizzou. Washington's October 14th win against Oregon is arguably the best in the country, but it wasn't enough to impress the committee last week. The only difference this week is that Washington bolstered its case Saturday with a double-digit road win at #20 USC. The question is how much the committee values that win now that the Trojans are a 3-loss team. Washington's pedestrian performances and wins against Arizona State and Stanford are why the committee put the Huskies at #5 in its first ranking. While it was another offensive clinic for Washington against USC, the defense allowed at least 30 points for the second straight week. None of the undefeated teams above Washington lost, so if the Huskies move up, it would be because of the road win against their ranked college football playoff team. #3 is Oregon, still the top 1-loss team. That is a question only because Alabama now has 3 top 25 wins against Ole Miss, Tennessee, and now LSU. Oregon has 1 statement win October 28 at Utah. The Ducks have been one of the most complete teams in the country, and the committee has and will continue to honor Washington's head-to-head win against Oregon as long as the Huskies stay undefeated. Will the committee continue to do the same for Texas, which beat Alabama by double digits in Tuscaloosa in week number 2? It would be surprising if it didn't, which would have teams ranked 5 and 8 in the same order. But Alabama has made significant strides against ranked competition in back-to-back weeks, and it also has a better resume than Texas, save for, of course, its loss to the Longhorns, which is a big deal. The Tide are number 4 in the strength of record, which, while Texas follows at number 5, that could at least generate some debate in the room as to whether the Tide should be higher. Number 4, does Ole Miss have a shot at the playoffs? The Rebels are a long shot to win the SEC, but if they run the table, finish with 1 loss, they will at least get some consideration. Winning the division will be extremely difficult. Even if the Rebels run the table, because they still need Alabama to lose twice, that's unlikely to happen, considering Alabama plays 2 unranked SEC opponents, Kentucky and Auburn, and ESPN's Football Power Index gives the Tide at least an 80% chance to win each game. You can read the whole article in the link provided in the description box. Will there be big changes here in the second installment of the college football playoffs rankings tonight? I don't think there's going to be big changes. I do think that Georgia is going to be number 1 and Ohio State number 2. I think they're going to move Georgia number 1. The first half struggles against Rutgers. First half struggles against Mizzou. Rutgers is an improved football team. No question about it. But it can be explained more away on the first half struggles that Georgia had with the number 12th ranked Mizzou Tigers. Sure, Ohio State still has the edge in resume. And that means something. No question about it. But Georgia, I think right now is the better football team. And I would have them ranked number 1. Does Ole Miss have a chance to get to the college football playoffs? Yes, they do. Things have to fall just right. But Ole Miss, it looks like they're going to be finishing that schedule up as 11-1. They have a great opportunity. 11-1, 1 loss in the conference to Alabama. They're going to finish behind Alabama. But if Alabama it looks like they're going to get to the SEC championship game against Georgia, and if they hammer on Georgia, and if other things fall, like Washington loses, Ohio State, Michigan both have a loss, I can see Ole Miss sneaking in to the college football playoffs. Tell me how crazy I am for believing that in the comments section below the video, and let me know what changes do you see happening from the second installment of the College Football Playoff Selection Committee rankings tonight versus last Tuesday night. We're going to keep following the rankings, everything in college football. Please stick with us here at Peek Around the Corner. We're going live tonight at 6:45 Eastern Time, 5:45 Central Time to do real-time reactions to the second installment of the College Football Playoffs. Until next time, which will be tonight, everybody here at PATC wants you all, please, to take care of each other. Thank you so very much.